did, certainly one of the highlights of the year, was the Capitol Christmas tree lighting. And it was always fun to go down there and get to see lit up by the west of the Capitol. Really a really soaring tribute to our Christmas spirit as a nation. And we're excited that Colorado will be able to play a key role in being part of that ceremony this year by providing the tree to the U.S. Capitol. We're also joined by the regional forester for the Rocky Mountain region, Jennifer Eberlin, the Choose Outdoors Director of Communications, Jody Massey, and of course the Director of our Colorado Tourism Office, Kathy Ritter. You know, the tradition of having a Christmas tree at the U.S. Capitol dates back to 1964, and the USDA provides the U.S. Capitol Christmas tree along with some smaller companion trees every year. This year, Colorado has the honor of providing the 2020 Capitol Christmas tree, often known as the People's Tree. It'll likely be an Engelmann spruce from the Grand Mesa Uncompahgre and Gunnison National Forest, which will source the tree that will adorn the west lawn of the U.S. Capitol. And while the Forest Service has the responsibility of coordinating it, the trees are a gift from Colorado. All Coloradans are, of course, welcome to participate. We'll be highlighting the ceremony itself when it occurs outside the Capitol as well. You know, the Grand Mesa Uncompahgre and Gunnison National Forests cover about 3 million acres of national forest land in the central and southern Rocky Mountains. And in addition to this large tree, our state also has provided the several companion trees that deck the halls of the Capitol and government buildings and in public. It's going to be a Colorado year in Washington, D.C., and we excited to try to infuse some of our pragmatic and forward-looking Colorado spirit in our nation's corridors of power, especially in the midst of a pandemic that's changed the way we conduct our social lives, our spiritual lives. It's important to honor and celebrate that what we still can, and it's important to highlight the holiday season, the Christmas spirit, and of course, some will see the tree virtually. Others will, of course, in an outdoor area west of the Capitol, go through and get to take in the majestic beauty of a Colorado Engelmann spruce. And of course, despite the burdens and challenges that we have, I know that we can continue to find time to honor our timeless traditions. And Colorado is proud to contribute part of our natural beauty to the United States Capitol in Washington. With that, I want to introduce Jennifer Eberlin, the USDA Forest Service Acting Regional Forester for the Rocky Mountain region. Jennifer?
Thank you, Governor. Good morning, and thank you for joining us today to kick off the magic of Christmas in July. As the Governor said, we at USDA Forest Service Rocky Mountain region have the privilege and the honor of uniting the public to provide the 2020 U.S. Capitol Christmas tree, a gift from Colorado. This project offers several opportunities. First, the trees and their journey symbolize unity and hope for our state, for our country, and for our future. Secondly, it highlights colorful Colorado, the Grand Mesa, Uncompahgre, and Gunnison National Forests, and all the goods and services that forests provide for the public. The 3 million acre Grand Mesa, Uncompahgre, and Gunnison National Forest, or the GMUG, as we call it, is home to an abundance of outdoor opportunities to experience your nature. The GMUG is home to the Grand Mesa, one of the world's largest flat top mountains, 4 state designated scenic byways, 5 of Colorado's 56 14ers, 3 developed ski areas, and countless opportunities for winter recreation. Over 3,500 miles of trails for hiking, biking, horseback riding, and OHVing. 160 developed recreation sites for camping, picnicking, fishing, and more. In a few days, the architect of the Capitol will announce the selection of the 2020 U.S. Capitol Christmas tree. Forest Service staff and partners will harvest the tree this fall during a public celebration. And soon after, the tree will embark on a journey throughout Colorado and across the country to Washington, D.C. 10,000 Colorado-themed handcrafted ornaments made by school children artists, and citizens will decorate the large tree along with several smaller companion trees that will adorn government offices throughout Washington, D.C. during the Colorado season. Colorado tree growers, partners, and businesses will provide the companion trees. During a public ceremony in December, the Speaker of the U.S. House of Representatives and representatives from the state's delegation will light the tree. And in the spirit of sharing stewardship of the G-Mug with partners, we've partnered with Choose Outdoors, a Colorado-based nonprofit, to support us in this monumental effort. And here with us today is Choose Outdoors Director of Communications and Sponsorship, Jody Massey. Jody.
Thank you so much, Jennifer. Good morning, everyone, and Merry Christmas. On behalf of our President, Bruce Ward, and our entire Choose Outdoors team, I want to say what an honor it is to be a part of this very special year celebrating the Grand Mesa, Uncompahgre, and Gunnison National Forests, and to work with the incredible staff from the USDA Forest Service and Colorado Tourism. We sincerely appreciate the enthusiastic support we've received from Governor Polis and staff as well. Thank you so much for the opportunity to be a part of this journey with you and the chance to be here today. So the tree is what brings us together, but it's truly sponsors and partners that locally and across the country that bring the U.S. Capitol Christmas Tree Initiative to life. A project of this magnitude simply cannot happen without the generosity of sponsors and partners. And it highlights the increasingly important role that public-private partnerships play in building continued support for our public lands. Our goal really isn't just to get the tree from Colorado to Washington, D.C. It's to help build partnerships that will benefit the forest and communities for years to come. We're fortunate to have really great support from organizations such as Colorado-based Apex Transportation, which has been selected as the carrier to drive the tree and ornaments safely to Washington, D.C., along with national partners such as Kenworth Truck Company, who once again provide the truck cab, and the trailer provided by Hale Trailer. A few others I'd like to mention this morning: Spirion Inc. will develop an online tree tracker that will allow the public to follow the tree on its cross-country journey. And cash and in-kind support is coming from organizations such as Federal Motor Carrier Safety Administration, Truckload Carriers Association, Great West Casualty Company, LexisNexis Vital Check Network, Travel Centers of America is providing support for the fuel for the truck, Montrose County Event Center, and Bass Pro Shops, to name a few. So Christmas is still 5 months away, and there's plenty of time to get involved. We're excited to continue working with Colorado-based organizations, corporations, schools, and more to cultivate engagement, enthusiasm, and support for this very special 2020 U.S. Capitol Christmas tree. More information on the project, special events, and ways to get involved will be available at uscapitolchristmastree.com, and we invite everyone to follow along on Facebook and Instagram, both of which are also at U.S. Capitol Christmas Tree. The tree is a symbol of hope and joy and a community coming together. We invite you all to take part in telling the story of the Grand Mesa, Uncompahgre, and Gunnison National Forests and the great state of Colorado and the tree's journey to the U.S. Capitol in 2020. It is now my pleasure to introduce the Director of Tourism, Kathy Ritter.
Thank you, Jody. The Colorado Tourism Office is thrilled to take part in this initiative and share this mighty gift from colorful Colorado with the nation. Jennifer, thank you very much for that wonderful shout out about everything the G-Mug holds for Colorado travelers. Our state is home to 23 million acres of public lands and national forests, where visitors and residents alike recreate, find inspiration, and reconnect. Contributing the U.S. Capitol Christmas tree this year of all years gives our state an opportunity to recognize the life-giving nature of our public lands, our cultural and natural resources, our diverse populations, and our world-class recreational settings and activities. As our nation grapples with the challenges of a worldwide pandemic, we have seen unprecedented numbers of people seeking solace and regeneration in the wide open, pristine spaces of our state. Through June, visitation to our Colorado state parks has climbed by 33% over last year. Our national parks visitation is up in Colorado and across the country as well. So as sponsors of this year's Capitol Christmas tree, we are excited to partner with Colorado's Public Arts Agency, the Colorado Creative Industries, to lead the creation of 10,000 handcrafted ornaments to decorate up to 70 trees at our nation's capital this year. The Colorado Creative Industries team, our colleague organization in OEDIT, has recruited the talents of 2 outstanding Colorado arts organizations to help with this work. Access Gallery is excited to share this assignment as a fun and impactful arts project for students who will be learning from home this fall. They're considering creating a DIY, do-it-yourself ornament curriculum, utilizing items that most people would be able to find around the house for this. And then Think 360 Arts is seeing an especially high demand for creative activities among senior living communities and is thrilled to have this wonderful project to share with older adults. So we sincerely hope that the gift of this towering tree from Colorado for the Capitol lawn helps inspire deep pride in America the Beautiful and happiness throughout the holidays, while showcasing the splendor of the Grand Mesa, Uncompahgre, and Gunnison National Forests of our mountains and mesas region of Colorado. We very much appreciate the opportunity to share our nature with the nation. And now back to Governor Polis.
Well, we are just so excited, and what a great honor for Colorado to be able to help the entire nation celebrate the holiday spirit. And of course, the men and women that work in the U.S. Capitol, many of whom are my longtime friends, and the staff there, the members from both sides of the aisle, they need that infusion of the majestic Colorado spirit. And of course, while I think Washington, D.C. has put themselves in a quarantine and not allowed visitors from most other areas, they will still have some visitors. And of course, for the D.C. residents that have been through a lot, they certainly deserve to be able to see a little piece of Colorado at the west of the Capitol as well. So for more information on the 2020 U.S. Capitol Christmas tree, you can visit uscapitolchristmastree.com. And let's kick off Christmas in July, and we're happy to take some questions.
Thank you, Governor. Wow, exciting. I have chills. I'm excited. So now I know you are too, and you have some questions. So we'll open the line for questions. If you have a question, please click on the participants icon down at the bottom of your screen and then raise your hand. Emily will call on you, and then I'll direct the question to the appropriate speaker.
Doesn't look like we've had anyone raising their hands at the moment. So, you're also welcome to chat your question, and we can answer your question that way as well.
I know on these people sometimes have trouble getting their, raising their hands. So you can put your question in the Zoom group chat, and we will get to it, and we'll give you about a minute to do that.
Looks like we have one question from Dennis Webb, so I will ask him to unmute now.
Hi, thank you everybody for putting this on. So am I correct in understanding that a tree has been selected and it's going to be announced now? The process of selecting the tree has already occurred?
Jen, we'll direct that to you.
Hi, thank you. It's Jennifer Eberlin with the Forest Service. And yes, the architect of the Capitol has selected a tree, and that will be announced shortly in the next few days of it, but it has been selected, has been identified.
If I could follow up, are you able to give any indication what part of the forest it might be in at this point?
I don't. Actually, I'm not certain exactly where it is. And usually we don't highlight that until the architect announces it.
Thank you.
Well, thank you all for joining us for a little bit of Christmas in July and a little bit of that Colorado spirit to infuse our nation's capital at a time when we all need to really feel that solidarity together when we can't physically be together. We're brought together around common experiences, and we're going to make this a special holiday season, and Colorado is going to do our part to contribute to that. So thank you all for joining us.
Thank you for joining us. That concludes our press event. More to come on this in the future. Take care and be well.